Nature will rise against
Nature will rise against you. We heard that in the background, which means that we're in the next match, and it's looking pretty good for Yogg in terms of his hand. It's going to be a Druid Mirror matchup. And a Wild Growth Coin and Darnassus Aspirant looks pretty nice. He only needs like an Innervate follow-up into a big Ancient of Lore with this to make it pretty sexy. Innervate for SilverName as well, though. Not a good hand with the rest of it. No Wild Growth or early drops. He could coin the Darnassus Aspirant. That's what he's going to do. He's like, okay, bro, if you have Wrath, that's fine. I still have a Wild Growth. If you don't, then I have early pressure, and I can still Wild Growth. Or I can play my Shade if I draw it. Look at the SilverName get off the top. Emperor Thaurissan, that doesn't help him. And next turn, he might have to think about already playing that Druid of the Claw with an Innervate, just to have something to deal with his opponent's ramp. Because that Wild Growth now is going to get pretty sick. And it's actually a good draw with the Shredder, because even if you were to like Innervate charge with the Druid of the Claw and kill off this 2-3, he can still play the Pile of the Shredder. Shade of Next Rammus is a good draw, though. He could Shade this turn, Innervate out Emperor next turn. Seems pretty nice. Has a good follow-up with the hand afterwards, but the opponent's ramp is also not to be forgotten here. There's the Shade. Lothar looking pretty good on curve here. There it is. Going to block the Innervate from happening next turn. And SilverName is really behind in terms of speed right now, unless he like top decks a 4-drop. Dr. Boom. He's going to be able to Innervate that next turn, but not this turn. That makes this turn pretty weak. And he's going to trade here, which is going to help somehow. It's going to stop his opponent from playing a minion and like hero powering down that minion. So how much tempo does Yogg want to preserve here? Because he could just keep her to play a minion and kind of take care of this. And he will. But now he really has nothing to deal with an Innervate Boom. So the Boom in that sense is a pretty nice draw, but it has to be Innervated as well. Like he absolutely has to, because there's no big answer from Yogg here. There's no swipe, no BGH, no big minion. He could trade it with what he has on board, but that's basically it. So he can get back tempo with this play. Can SilverName. What can Yogg get off the top here? Innervate, that could help later. He could also just Innervate out his own Dr. Boom and go face with this. That would be a good play if he somehow had a combo piece in his hand, but he does not, so he should think about whether or not he wants to do that. It's also very bad versus swipe. That's a bad bomb hit. Wrath trade. Into Shredder, or is he Innervating out Thaurissan? He's Innervating out Thaurissan. Very interesting line of play. I wouldn't call this bad. I wouldn't call it good either. The only great thing about this is that there has to be a counter from a SilverName to this, right? Like, he has to take care of his opponent's Thaurissan. Like, just playing his own is so greedy. Not the best bomb hit there. Is he going to be forced to Force of Nature? He doesn't really want to. Like, he feels bad doing this because otherwise he could have, like, Innervated out combo even next turn to take care of the board. So right now, he's not putting anything on board. Like, he's just taking care of his opponents. And he's just going to get met by Dr. Boom from Yogg here, which is absolutely insane. Unless he plays Double Shredder, he can do that as well. And he's going to go with the Double Shredder. Wild Growth at the top, not really helpful at all. Ancient Allure coming down. Another Force of Nature drawn. That's pretty good. You can combo for trades that way. Dr. Boom coming down, going to be followed by Hero Power. Is he trading that 5/5? He is. He's going to feel a little tingle from that Hero Power, but it's going to be enough to kill it. And 4 to the face. And this is a pretty scary position that SilverName's in. He has the card advantage, but not on the board. That's a pretty scary board. depending on his draw here, might be forced to, yeah, innervate at the Force of Nature, right? I mean, a single Savage Roar is the game here, and he has to be thinking about that. Sure, he's ahead 1-0, but he doesn't want to make it a 1-1 and potentially fall behind in this series, because he needs to get a win with his Druid, and it's not over by any means, but he has to go for the clear here in some way. Like, just taunting up and playing a Wrath is pretty risky, right? Like, he could take care of everything but the bombs with an Innervate combo. And the only reason I find that so great is because on the one side, you're just taking less damage, and on the other, you're also kind of, like, you're clearing everything on your opponent's board, right? He doesn't have any follow-up in his hand. Like, he has a big game Hunter. Even if you don't know that that's the BGH, it's still just one card. He's only getting one more off of the draw. Still not going for it. Okay. Wants to keep that as a win condition, apparently. Shields up. And an Emperor. Wow, so not scared at all, apparently. That's 14 damage on the board. Savage Roar still game. Wild Growth, one of the only draws that's absolutely terrible in this situation. Pretty sick bomb right there. Holy cow. Can't play Big Game Hunter as a minion. Down to 5 HP here is SilverName. Might have to combo now.
Elune, guide my lands.
He's gonna Wild Growth here for the draw. What's he hoping for, though? Big Game Hunter's pretty sick. Is this gonna be enough to keep him alive? Yes, it is. Wow. Off the top, man. Gonna innervate out the hero power. Is he attacking that bomb? That's pretty risky. Oh, he has to hope for a good hit here. It goes to the face. 0 for 2, and that means that Keeper is lethal, and so is Swipe. Oh, that's so brutal. Oh, man, if SilverName were to lose the series this way, he's going to be so mad. Ancient Allure. Yeah, he might as well Ancient Allure here. Because Azure Drake doesn't draw anything that's lethal. So he can draw, unless he has like a, unless he has a, what's the 1-mana card called? I don't remember. No, not the Moonfire. It's the one with the saplings. It's a new TGT card. Deal 1 damage or spawn 2 saplings. I don't remember. But he could have fished for that with an Ancient Allure better than with a Azure Drake. There's the Keeper. Not going to help him this turn. Might as well play the BGH. Although he's dead to combo, right? Wait, does he just lose this game? I think this is game, guys. Yeah, SilverName takes the second game. That's just insane, man. Never lucky here is Yogg. That's going to be the second game here in the series that SilverName just wins without any contest, really, to be honest, at the end of this. Oh, and that's brutal. Could even kill the Drake for BM, but he doesn't do it because Yogg just concedes. And only one more win away here is SilverName. That's going to be his Warlock that he needs to cash out the series. Living Roots, there we are. Yep, that's the name. Wow, brutal right there. So Yogg in a bad position here. The Frenchman gonna have to get 3 wins in a row to stay in this. And that's pretty harsh. Very well played by SilverName. Saz Masterak in chat. I agree with you, but I'm also inclined to say that he has to take one more win. And he's going to play with his Handlock, it seems. We're going to jump right into that. Yogg on his Druid once again. Feels like this is going to be the deck that can take it. And once again, this is the thing about the mirror lineup, you would say, between Handlock, or not between Handlock, but between 2 players, right? If they both play Warlock, Druid, and Warrior. Most of the time it's Patron Warrior and Handlock, and that Handlock is almost never losing to the Patron Warrior. So the player to get a win with the Patron Warrior first is already favored, but then afterwards, if you don't get a win against that Druid, oh, that's so bad, right? Because you're going to have to face that Handlock at some point with your Patron Warrior, and that's just going to feel bad. But we're not quite there just yet. It's going to be the Druid, which if it curves out well, has a good shot here, but he only has the coin, no Innervate, Aspirant. or Wild Growth. So SilverName's got to be feeling pretty good about this. Has no Drake or Giant, though, so that's not too good either. We have a big game hunter in the hand of the Druid already on the far left that's going to get some value for sure in this game. And there's the Giant off the top. Are you kidding me? That's just crazy. I mean, it's going to get wrecked, but still, the RNG involved right there. There's the BGH. Probably going to get met by a Sludge Belcher, unless he wants to Dark Bomb this and play like an Ancient Watcher behind it, which I would find quite interesting. What I'm happy to see is that there's a Druid of the Claw in the hand of Yogg, and that's just going to get Black Knighted for insane value on turn 6 by SilverName here.
So many.
Does nobody play Secret Paladin? I want to see Dr. Six in action, says Master Rack in chat. We've seen it once today, I think. Yeah. Didn't work out. Did not work out. He's thinking about this quite thoroughly. It's going to be tap Dark Bomb. Okay. Has double Molten Giants in hand. Not too amazing in this matchup because you don't want to play them for like 6 or 7 mana, but you kind of have to just because of the fact that your opponent is going to kind of get you down from the 14 health point with a combo. So there's a Druid of the Claw, and that's just going to get wrecked by the Black Knight. Oh man, that just hurts so much. So coin Ancient Allure is a possibility here. Only combo parts drawn in the last 3 turns here for Yogg. He needs to turn that into some better draws here with the Ancient Allure. It's pretty good against the 4/5. Like all he really has to be scared of is a potential Argus or like a Mortal Coil. Mortal Coil would suck. I mean, it's probably going to get met by a Dr. Boom on curve. Looking pretty smexy. Unless he wants to play that Thaurissan for a lot of value. Dr. Boom just has so much value on board, right? Like, it wins you more on the board, while Emperor Thaurissan just kind of sets up your hand for the late game. The thing is, if you look at the hand of SilverName, how many cards are there really that are really, like, important to get cost reduced? Molten Giants, not so much. You control that with your health a lot. Dr. Boom, sure, but you could play that anyways. Dark Bombs, Watchers, nope. Belcher, hell yeah, that's pretty nice. Shadow Flame, okay. And Lord Jirax is also pretty nice. So in the end, that's like 3 cards, and it's not really worth it, so he's going to choose to go Dr. Boom over Thaurissan. And also Punch Face for 4 more. There's no Innervate combo here, and even then it would only have been 21 damage, not 22, so that's not enough. No Big M Hunter left here. He already used that. Swipe could come down here, though. And it is going to come down. Probably going to be followed up by a Wrath. That is going to clear the board for Yogg here. But he doesn't have anything on his own left here. And Thaurissan's just going to reign free here. The tap Thaurissan could be real. Unless there's something else that SilverName would like to play over this. Probably not, though. Depends on the draw. There is only a Sun Fury draw. And that's not good enough to play. So that's probably going to be a tap Thaurissan. Unless that's already 9 cards. Oh, is it 10 even? All right, so there's the Ancient Watcher. How do you deal with this? Oh, damn, man. Yogg's got to be feeling abysmal about this one. Hey, Rafney, what's going on, man? Nice to see you in the chat. Crane ran Secret Paladin, but he lost to Radu. Exactly. We saw the last match of that one, actually. He might be forced to just use a single Force of Nature here, right? Like a single one. He has 2 of them in hand, so he might as well do it. Innervates out of Shade. I like that. He needs to put something on the board here in order to have a shot later on. Jiraxis isn't playable here. He actually needs to hero power. And then taunt up with the Sludge Belcher, at least. Or he just plays double Belcher Sun Fury. Even then, he could play the Belcher behind it. I think you do that. Why not triple taunt? What speaks against that, right? You could also only double taunt and play an owl, actually. Unless you want to keep that. Looks like he wants to keep that. So this is a pretty strong board. I have no idea how Yogg wants to get through this. And the thing about this board is it's not like necessarily as crazy itself, but it actually stops like the opponent from killing you for a long time. And your follow-up damage obviously is way more sick with like double Molten Giant and Jiraxxus in hand. Like you might even be able to just Jiraxxus safely here. Dark Bomb as well. Oh, Sylvanas. That's sick, man. You could just play Sylvanas kind of as a preemptive card to say, like, okay, I don't care if you have Loatheb or any other big minion. I'm just going to trade that in and get some good value. And it's going to force Yogg to, like, use a Keeper, which obviously is good on that target, but it's going to stop him from, like,
So many
like, playing double 5-drops, for example, like Druid of the Claw or Loatheb. So I really like Sylvanas here. Unless he just wants to play with the Giant and feels like he's safe enough on this board already. There's one Giant. He's like, oh, okay, I saw one BGH. I'm not scared of you. It's a Dark Bomb for the trade. And a Sun Fury? No, you don't want to play that. You want to keep that for Jiraxxus. And the Infernals. How long am I casting today? I'm not quite sure yet. Could go until 8, could go until like 7 p.m., something like that. Don't know if I'm casting all the games, since we have an event in-house today, so I kind of need to be here for that as well. Azure Drake off the... sorry, not Azure Drake. Twilight Drake off the top here for SilverName. Can't play that together with the Taunt and the new Giant.
I wonder.
Has to start trading here, though, does SilverName, because the combo is actually looking pretty strong here for Yogg at this point. At least in my opinion. The qualifiers are also still on tomorrow, though. I'm just going to have a sip to drink while SilverName thinks about this. It's looking pretty good for him, though. Are you going to come today, Rafi? That's pretty cool.
Almost out of time.
I have no time for games.
And he's going to go for Sylvanas and taunt that up, apparently. And owling that Shredder wants to take no risk at all. He's going to go face there, though. He's like, all right. Even if there's like 14 combined damage with combo alone with those two minions, I don't care if you have 28. There's nothing you can do against all these taunts plus the Sylvanas, because you can't silence that and combo. And that's the truth. God damn it, Yogg. I smell the 03, bro. I smell the 03. There's the Force of Nature, with or without the combo. Just going to be the combo, the Force of Nature.
I must safeguard the land.
And the Moonfire on the taunt, actually, instead of the 2-1. Okay, interesting. Opens up the trade. That's why I find it so weird. So he could safely Jiraxxus this turn, but he also has a Molten Giant, and he can play that with the Twilight Drake together, and he might end up doing that. Just to push for lethal next turn, right? He definitely has lethal next turn if those two cards survive, because he has a Hellfire as well, plus Jiraxxus can also do 3 damage, so he can choose which one of those he wants to do. There's nothing really that Yogg can do except taunting up. Like taunt Keeper maybe on the 2-1 even to just stay alive? Nah, he sees this. He wants to just dig. I don't know what he's looking for, though. Swipe. It's too little too late, though, right? Oh no, I forgot about the silence. Yeah, that's nice. Now it can swipe. Good. Stays alive for at least one more turn. Six damage are needed. There's only 3, though. He might just Jiraxxus here, though. Tap Jiraxxus. Seems pretty nice, unless he draws something. He doesn't, though. Does he heal bot? Okay. I guess this is just the hyper safe route, right? It's like safer against, I don't know, Nefarian.
Guide my lands.
sacrificial pact. I guess it's safer against that. All right, and that's going to be the game here. It's going to be sealed this turn by SilverName. The whole series is actually going to be sealed by this. And he greets him for the BM even. Wow, poor Yogg getting Shrek'd 3-0 in this series. That's pretty brutal. Got to feel sorry for him. But very well played by SilverName. You got to give it to him, man. Those Watchers getting taunted up, that whole board. Pretty nice draws there, but he also utilized it well.